It seems like dysfunctional people, the one thing that they seem to be really good at is finding a person to make feel really special. And it happens to be the person with resources that they need. And those of you who like saving people, you love that feeling. Love feeling like I'm the only one that gets you. I'm the only one who you really feel like you can talk to. You're the only one that'll stick beside them. First of all, you got to understand, if you're the only one that will stand beside a person, you got to start to ask, well, where the hell did everybody else go?
Hey y'all, welcome to Boundaries and Grace.
I'm Taylor Chandler. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist helping people break negative relationship patterns. It's 2025, y'all. Happy New Year. A lot of people talking about New Year's resolutions and promises you're making to yourself. I'm going to talk to you about promises you should break. All right, let's get into it. Promises you've made to people that are hurting you, not helping you. Romantic partner, friends, family. Yeah, things like I'll never leave you. I'll always be there for you. Anything you need, anytime you need it, you can count on me. For anything you need me, if I don't have it, I'm gonna go find a way to get it for you. Even if you haven't said these promises out loud, it's the way you orient to the person, okay? As if there's this unshakable bond, as if there's this invisible cord. This is already a word for somebody. And you know I like when those little hearts go off. So if something, the more little hearts I get, the more little fire things I get, the more I give to you. It's true. It happens every time. So I'm talking about the promises you've made to people in particular that are hurting you and not helping you. Promises you've made to people. I'm talking about people like, thank you. I'm talking about people like romantic partners, okay, or exes. I'm also talking about friends. Yeah, I'm also talking about family members. I'm talking about the way you orient to somebody. You know I like that word, orient. The way you orient, the way you place yourself, the way your location in relationship to somebody, the way you orient to somebody. Okay, it might not be something you said out loud, but it's the way you orient to that person as if there's this unshakable bond, as if there's this invisible cord. Okay? As if there's this pact, there's this unspoken agreement you have with this person that keeps you in their orbit. Before I even go on, I know I'm not crazy. I need somebody to tell me if you know what I'm talking about. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. I want you to say it in the comments. You know me, you know I'm calling response. I want you to say it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those kind of promises you make to somebody. I'll never leave you. I'll always be there for you. Anytime you need me, I'm there. Whether you say it out loud or it's this unspoken agreement, this pact, this invisible cord between you and this other person. Do you know what I'm talking about? Gabriella, thank you. Said, I know. Yep, I know. Hey, Tia, Happy New Year. Okay? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Whether it's with a romantic partner, friend, family. Look, I understand you want to be loyal. You want to be patient. You want to be a good person. A lot of y'all like this. You're altruistic. Altruistic. You think highly, right? You think you're kind of utopic, right? In a perfect world, in an ideal world. Altruistic. You want the best for everybody. It's a really amazing quality until it goes too far. You've tied yourself to people, places, and things that were one thing in one season, but the season has changed. And then there's some of you project the good in you onto others, that altruistic thing. You think other people are as good as you, or they want to be as good as you. Come on, somebody knows what I'm talking about. You project the way that you like to learn and grow, the way that you like to know what your flaws are, what your weaknesses are, and you like to develop them, and you like to work on them, and you like to not be a problem in other people's lives if you can help it. You think other people would do the same thing if they only had the opportunity. I'm here to tell you it ain't true. I'm here to tell you, Happy New Year, y'all. That's not true. There are not a whole lot of people aren't interested, not interested. Whole lot of people are not interested. Whole lot of people, when presented with the opportunity to reflect on themselves and grow and change and stop being a damn nuisance. Okay, stop being a nuisance. They get presented with an opportunity, an open door. They not going. They don't want to do it. Okay, Happy New Year. Let's be for real. I missed Instagram. I missed it a little bit. You know I got a love-hate thing with y'all with it. I missed it. Some of you think other people want to learn and grow too. It's not everybody. Others of you, others of you are trying to save up. Somebody write this down before I even finish the sentence. Just go ahead and start writing it down. By the way, I didn't ask, do you have a pen and paper? You need to be taking notes. We haven't even gotten into the notes for real, but you need to be taking some notes. Others of you are trying to save others the way that you wish someone would have saved you. Oh, no. Some of you are trying, come here. Some of you are trying to save others the way you wish somebody would have come and saved you. You want to give them your attention. You want to give them your energy. You wish somebody would have given you their company. I just need to be present for you because I wish somebody was present for me. Some of y'all giving the money away, time, space, energy. You know, I like to do a resource list. You give them company, money, time, space. Trying to save somebody, give somebody what you wish somebody would have given you. If that's you, if that's been you, it's in a season of your life, whether it's today or yesteryear, I want you to say it, okay? Because I know I'm not crazy. I want you to say it. Gabriella already got a page of notes. Come on. If you know that's been you, either today or in yesteryear, has that been you? I want to save you the way that I wish someone would have saved me. But y'all put it a little bit differently. I want to give you love. Come on. You want to talk about, I want to give you love. I want to give you some positive energy. You want to save somebody. All right, let me back up. Let me get some water. Y'all, we're talking about 2025 promises you should break. I'm going to give you 3 things that you need to have in place to break toxic promises. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But some of y'all giving people things that quite frankly just don't deserve it. You've confused speaking life with life support. Write it down. Somebody just write it down. Let me ask you, not tell you. Have you confused speaking life with life support? Taylor, what do you mean? Oh, what I mean is ain't nothing wrong with speaking life. It's amazing. It's great. You should do it. But being somebody's life support is a little too far. You're going to go on too far. In other words, if it wasn't for you, I don't know if I need to finish the sentence. You finish it. You do it. You finish it. If it wasn't for me, some of y'all know this, if I took my hands off of this wheel, if I stopped doing what I was doing for you, you finish the sentence. You confuse speaking life with life support. You shouldn't be. It's someone's life support. They can't generate internally on their own. We all need support. Life support is something different. You done already kicked it. You done already left the building. You already out. Life support is the last ditch effort. We gonna try to pump you up. All right, that's not speaking life. That's life support. When somebody's life it's such a downward spiral, it stops spiraling. Oh, it's such a downward spiral. It kind of stops. It just seems like it stopped. You kind of don't. Anyway, let me not even go into that. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about romantic partners. Okay, I'm talking about people you're dating. I'm talking about, let me say this, because a lot of people won't talk about your kids. I'm talking about these people too. I'm talking about people who you are keeping afloat with your life because they can't take care of their life. And now, as somebody said earlier, it drains you. Yeah, I'm talking about, this can be your child. And I know it's a nuanced situation. But anybody, I'm going to have to say this, anybody who refuses to take responsibility for their life will drain yours. Anybody a friend, romantic partner, a person you're dating, your own child who won't take responsibility for their life will drain yours if you stay in such close proximity. Some people are in relationships where someone has made you feel really special. Addicts in particular are very good at this, but addicts and manipulative people or narcissists or just emotionally immature people, they all under the same umbrella as people who lack accountability, are irresponsible, and who will leech off of you. All those people do the same thing. And these people are really good at making you feel really special. Dysfunctional people always make you feel, thank you. Dysfunctional people always make you feel really special. And those of you who like saving people, you love that feeling. You love it. You love feeling like I'm the only one that gets you. I'm the only one who you really feel like you can talk to. I know I'm not crazy. If you know what I'm talking about, say it in the comments. Put it in the chat. I know I'm not crazy. Do they not do this? Stop me if I'm lying. It seems like dysfunctional people, the one thing that they seem to be really good at is finding a person to make feel really special. And it happens to be the person with resources that they need. Like you're the only one they have. You're the only one that'll stick beside them. First of all, you got to understand, if you're the only one that will stand beside a person, you got to start to ask, well, where the hell did everybody else go? Huh? Wait a second. If you're the only one that is willing to stick beside somebody, I want you to ask yourself today, where the hell did everybody else go? What are they seeing that I didn't see? Hold on. Wait a second. What are they seeing? Somebody knows something that I don't know. I'm in somebody's business today. All your exes hate you? Why? You ain't got no friends? Hold up. How come? You fell out with all your family? I'm just wondering why. Now, I'm not saying there's not reasons for all of these things. Trust me, I get it. I'm saying it's a valid question. Let me get out of that one. Hold on. Let me get out of that. Listen, dysfunctional people will always make you feel really special. They know a sucker when they see one. That's what I should have said. They know a sucker when they see one. They know. Listen, when you out there and you need validation and you need to feel special, they know a sucker when they see one. And they're going to give you that in exchange for your energy, for your resources, for your money, for your time, for your space, for whatever. They will give you validation and affirmation for as long as you're willing to serve them. Not be in relationship with them, serve them. Not be equal to them, not be in a 50, not share. No, serve them. Come on, I'm talking about somebody's mother. I'm talking about somebody's father. I'm talking about somebody's bum child. Yeah, somebody's bum kid. Yeah, I'm talking about that friend that always got a problem. Yeah. I'm talking about somebody's wife, somebody's husband, somebody's boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't care. I'm talking about a type of person, and they exist in all kinds of genders, shapes, sizes. They big, small, tall, little. They all kinds of people. Some of them in your house, some of them down the street. Anyway, I don't have to do. They everywhere. Is the point? You get it. People make you feel like you're the only one that gets them. Listen, but they're toxic and catastrophic. Woo! And you feel. Listen, let me talk about you for a second. You feel bad leaving them where they're at or letting them suffer their own consequences. Because these people will also typically, they got a sob story that they like to tell you about that early on. Let me not get into the profile of the whole person. They like to tell you that kind of early on. Get you thinking about all they've been through. All the people that left them anyway. You stick around and enable them and you stall your own life. Some of y'all get so tied up fixing other people's lives so that you can ignore the issues you got in your own life. All you do is go around fixing other people's problems, the stuff piling up on your desk. And you talking about when somebody gonna come do it for me. Ain't nobody sucker enough to do it. You ain't got a sucker enough to do it. They need somebody like you to do it. It's a you that does that kind of thing. I don't want to, hold on, I got too much energy today. They need somebody like you to do it. They need somebody who doesn't care enough about what they got going on to bury themselves in your problems. You need somebody that don't got enough going on, don't care enough about their goals, don't care enough about themselves, don't got enough to damn do. You need somebody like that. Oh, somebody like you? Somebody like you? Is that what? Am I talking about somebody like you? Somebody who doesn't think that their life is interesting enough, that's valuable enough to put all that into you? You don't think that your life needs that, so you don't give it to somebody else that you think is more valuable than you? You need somebody like you to come take care of your life. Somebody who don't think enough of themselves, that they're going to take on your stuff and ignore themselves. Hold on. Let me back up. Let me get some water. We haven't even gotten to the how to fix it. We about to. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things you need to have in place to break toxic promises. Sometimes you make promises to these toxic and catastrophic individuals. I'll never leave you. I'll always be there if you need me. It's been 10 years. I can't leave you now. Some of y'all got that kind of belief system. Some of y'all got the belief system of history. You got a belief system of you got some things around history. We got this many years together. We experienced these experiences together. And so therefore I can't leave you. I can't make different decisions about you. I got to stay right here. I got to shackle myself to you. Some of y'all just got a belief system like that, and it keeps you locked into people that you should be reevaluating. You talking about New Year's resolutions and things you want to do. I'm going to talk about some reevaluations. You want to resolve to do something. I want you to reevaluate a couple things, a couple promises you may have made to yourself about someone else, okay? Or promises you may have made with somebody else. Somehow we ride or dies. Hold up. Not if we always dying. And it ain't got to be an always thing. It don't got to be 100% of the time. Most of the time, it's a problem. Most of the time, you got a problem. Most of the time, we got problems. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. 3 things you need to have in place to break toxic promises. First thing you need, standards. First thing you need, standards. Yeah. First thing you need, standards. Some of y'all got people who were grandfathered in. Ooh. Before you started to grow, you had them. Then you started to change, and you kept them. And they've been grandfathered in to a new season in your life, but they don't match. Number 1, you need standards. Standards, y'all, are the ground floor. Standards are the ground floor, not the ideal. Standards are not, it's not the ideal. It's not the cherry on top. Standards are the ground floor. Can somebody please put that in the chat? Standards are the ground floor. It means without it, we're not going. We're not progressing. It's not getting bigger. We don't have the standard is the foundation. It's the ground floor. Somebody put it in the chat, please. I'll continue. Thank you, B. Thank you. Standards are the ground floor. Y'all, quick note, standards should be related to your values. It's not about nitpicking someone's behavior. A better way to say that, standards are about your values, not trying to control someone else's behavior. I want to give you an example of that. The way someone loads the dishwasher might not be the way you like it. Some of y'all got a way you like the dishwasher loaded. If the utensils got to be up or down, and you got to put the bowls all this way, and everything need to be facing the same way, and it need to go with the groove of the dishwasher, and some of y'all got a certain way you like the dishwasher loaded. I like a little dishwasher loaded in a particular way. I have a preference. There's a certain way I like dishwasher loaded. Okay. But if somebody loads it differently than you, it's likely a nitpick. Right? They put a fork upwards, you put it downward, you put it down. It's likely a nitpick about loading. That's not a standard. It's not something to die. We don't die on that hill. But listen to this. I'm going to give you a very closely related other example. If they hardly do the dishes or hardly ever load the dishwasher, if they usually leave dirty dishes out, they could be, now we're talking about violating a standard maybe of cleanliness or respect, maybe you feel taken advantage of. Does that can y'all see the difference in that example? It's a very fine line between setting standards and setting standards and controlling someone's behavior. Consider things like this: the way that you're treated, the quality of your interactions, how you're viewed by others, like the way that you're valued, honored, respected, the way that you're loved. I thought about it like this earlier today. This is how I'm going to think about standards all this year. This is how I'm going to think about standards. And I want somebody who's listening to write it in the chat. Write this down. Standards are behaviors that match the quality of life you want to live. Standards are behaviors that match the quality of life that you want to live. Some of y'all just so used to being triggered and upset, okay? And we react to that, but do you even know what it is that you do want? Okay, you know what bothers you. You can feel it. We can see it on your face. We know it. What you don't like, okay? Or you know what you don't like, because some of y'all will just act. Meanwhile, you're imploding on the inside. You hate it. You hate what's going on, and you're like, ah. Okay, that's a whole nother problem in and of itself. Okay. Some of y'all, you know what's not working for you because you can feel it. Even if you can't put your finger on it, something don't feel right about these experiences, these interactions that we're having, this environment that I'm in. So can you even imagine? I'm serious. I really want you to be able to do this, whether you do this now or you do this later. Can you imagine the quality of life, the quality of relationship that you do want? I mean, seriously, I want you to imagine it. I want you to take a moment to fantasize about it. Yeah. What would it feel like? What would it be like to be in my ideal experience, my ideal relationship? What would it be like to be like at the, I pause on the word ideal because I'm like, I'm deciding, is that the way I want to word that? There's another word that I just cannot get to right now because I am saying standards are the bottom floor, not like all the cherries on top. I want you to imagine, like, put it like this. If I was in a relationship where I was not complaining, outwardly or inwardly, if I was in a relationship where I was happy to be there. This is so nice. You're one of the best kept secrets in regards to practical and modern relationship counseling. Wow, that's so nice. For real. Thank you. Wow, that's so nice. I really enjoy these words of affirmation. That really works for me. I like when you comment them. I like when you DM them. I like that. So thank you. That makes me feel really good. Okay, so if I was in a relationship where I was not like, that might need to be all I had to say, where every day I wasn't like, where you got to hold your tongue. Some of y'all spent all holiday break not relaxing. You were like this. You trying to use those breathing exercises you found on YouTube. You like, you just grumbling. If I was in a relationship if I was in a life experience where I was not grumbling and mumbling, what would be going on a day-to-day? Can you take a moment to fantasize about it, to imagine it? Oh, thank y'all. That's so nice. I really love it. See how that affirmation, that kind word just snowballed, and now I feel amazing. That's so kind. Sometimes you got to screenshot some of these things because now I'm back on the internet. I'm like, Lord, it's just a matter of time before somebody say something crazy to me. Just a matter of time. See, I gotta keep the good stuff. Okay. So y'all with me on that? Can you even imagine it if you weren't grumbling and mumbling? What would be going on? The way that you're talked to. And you know what? I got a word for men for a second. Because women have been asked to do this. Honestly, women have had many different ways to be encouraged to do this. But men, Pastor Nick, welcome. Men, I need you. Come on. I need men to get in this bag. How do you want to be treated? How do you want to be talked to? If I wasn't grumbling, mumbling, had to hold my tongue, how do you want to be treated? I want men to get into that as well, please. One of my themes of this year that's going to be coming into this podcast is insist. I want you to insist on being treated the way that you want to be treated. I'm not talking about what you would tolerate. You see how my face goes up like that? You see that? I don't like that. I don't like that for anybody, man, woman, for anybody. I don't want you to be tolerating. I want you to be thriving. I want you to be excited. I want it to be like, I know when I call you, when I call this person, when I pull up with this person, when I go on a date with this person, I know I'm going to feel better I'm going to feel better on the other side than when I came in. I know it's going to be, I am so confident in the way that this person treats me. That it's like a guarantee. Now it's not 100% of the days it's going to be like that, okay? But we can pretty much assume that it's going to be a positive experience, okay? The way you're talked to, the way you're greeted when you come into the home, how we handle money, how we go about making decisions, the way we interact, the way we interact with the opposite gender. How do you want to be treated? What kind of experience do you want in your relationship where you wouldn't have to be holding your tongue, mumbling and grumbling, anxious, nervous, upset, withdrawn, disengaged? If I was happy to be here and confident in the way that you treated me and of course the way that I'm treating you, what would be happening? So the things that I just listed, I'm like, think about that. 2 more points on these standards. Are y'all good so far? Is this making sense with the standards? I want you to practice this year. I want you to practice addressing every. I said every. I want you to drop it in the chat. I said every standard violation. That's not nitpicking, because nitpicking is talking about every single thing. Okay? Being annoying is talking about every single thing. Every time they squeeze the toothpaste differently than you got to say it every time. That's not a standard. That's you're being annoying. Right? We don't need to address that every single time. But I want you to address every standard violation. Oh, that's real, solid man. I need to not feel like I make small things into big things when I know it's preventative work versus reactionary work. Preventative work. Listen, not everybody's going to get it. I want you to be with somebody who understands the value of preventative maintenance. Preach in this church. I want you to be with somebody. If you're really that kind of person, that's not everybody, but people who know what to look for and they know like, oh, I see smoke, I'm going to treat it like fire because I know what this turns into. If you keep talking to me like that, it's a small thing. You're not cussing me out yet, but it's a seed. It's a seed. I know what that looks like. Before we get to that really disrespectful moment, before somebody starts throwing hands, I know what that looks like. I know that seed. Okay. I know that seed. Okay, you leaving your dirty dishes out like 80% of the time. I know that seed. I'm gonna start to feel it's gonna be a problem if this keeps happening. It's preventative maintenance. Okay, I recognize that we get into a conflict, you start getting real escalated. We got to talk about this because if it keeps going, that seed turns into a tree, and and then it drops another seed, and now we have a forest of problems. And I didn't address it on the front end. Now I got to chop down all this bullshit. Let's just call it what it is. I gotta go through all this bullshit because I didn't want to look like, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to, no. This is your life. This is your life. I don't play about I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I take my life experience incredibly seriously. You see my face, incredibly seriously. So if we're together, now you directly impact my experience, because not only are we going to be together, we're intertwined together. We're not side by side. We are linked together. We are looped together. We are in this thing together. So it's not, okay, that's just you. Oh, no. It's you really affecting me. And now we got to deal with this. Okay. I want you to be with somebody that understands the value of preventative maintenance. Because if they don't get why you're doing it, they're going to think that you are controlling. They're going to think that you are, you're too picky. Oh, nah. Because I know that I'm not, because wait a second. Some of y'all like me. Some of y'all like me. That's not a lot of people. Okay. But some of y'all like me, especially if you like my content, you're probably more like me than most people. So people like us, especially when you've grown, right? And you've developed and you're mature, and I mean, damn it, call it what it is. You one of them unicorns. Hello? Somebody claim it. It's got to be somebody. So you got to understand. I want to talk to people that are like me for a second. Preventative people. Somebody who says that you're picky, you just everything you got something to say, it's never good enough. They don't know all the things you didn't say. Somebody preach. Hold on. Wait a second. They're not seeing it. You don't know everything I said one thing that you don't know everything I didn't say the last 14 days. You have no idea how much I've held my tongue. You have no idea how I've categorized these things. Not important. I saw it, not important. Saw it, kind of annoying, not gonna die on this hill. Oh, but this is a standard I have. I got to say something about this. And it's always something. No, it's a whole lot. It ain't nothing. A whole lot of times it won't nothing. You don't even know. I want you to thank me for what I didn't say. How about instead of complaining about what I'm talking about, thank me for everything I didn't say to you. Now, I don't want you in those kind of conversations, y'all. I want you to be with somebody that really gets it. You don't have to do all that. But I want you to understand, like, sometimes you got to teach somebody how to be that way. And then you check them and they get it. Sometimes you got to check somebody and they get it. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes, I think, a little bit. Y'all got it? So we address the standard violations, because that seed turns into a tree, and that tree turns into a forest. And now it's been 2 years of something that always bothered you, that never was your standard, but now we got 2 years worth of that problem that you got to fix. Now we got, on top of that, you don't have that problem. You've got resentment. You've got delay. I've got an episode coming up for y'all called The Cost of Delay. Let me not get off track, y'all. We gotta keep going. Hi, Happy New Year. Hey, Severia. Happy New Year. Do I think this is necessary in relationships that aren't very important? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I went around checking everybody that didn't meet my standard, I would be exhausted. I got this for really this is really truly just for my relationship. Like I in my clients, but you got to save that energy, because it takes a lot of energy and a lot of patience and a lot of grace and a lot of love to be in the process of addressing standard violations and then upgrading the relationship to meet standards. And I'm talking about on both sides. It takes a lot. We ain't doing this with everybody. I recommend you pick one person, okay? And it should be your person. All right, y'all. Address every standard violation. Like I said earlier, one of my themes for this year is to insist on change. So address the violation, insist on change. We're not just going to say it. We're going to do something about it. Last thing, just a little note. When you're unhealthy, specifically desperate and lonely, we'll just call it what it is. When you are specifically desperate or lonely, You don't register the standard violations the same. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. When you are desperate or or lonely, those standard violations, you kind of like, I could live with it. You making it see, ooh, well, I ain't gonna say nothing because that person might jump ship. So you got to deal with that. I don't even want to talk about Travis Hunter. Wait a second. Are y'all following? I have to move on. Are y'all following the Travis Hunter situation? It's so disturbing. It's very disturbing, folks. It's very disturbing. I should do a whole video on that alone. This is almost like when I did those videos, it was like 3 years ago now. When I did the stuff on Will and Jada. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. This is like that. I'll just say it real quick, y'all. Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy winner, very obviously talented, gifted athlete, seeming to be excellent character. Oh, you saw the Will and Jada? The Will and Jada stuff was hilarious. It was so funny. That was so funny, y'all. That was a good time. That was hilarious. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I couldn't believe this stuff that I'm seeing about Travis Hunter, talented, gifted athlete, right? We should be, this young man should be applauded not only for his athletic talents, but for the character that he seems to have, like who he seems to be. He appears to be a role model, especially for his age. What, 21, 22? Well, folks, in case you missed it, he got a girlfriend, fiance. Even worse. He got a fiance named, we'll call her LL. I don't know how to put Leanne. Okay. All we hearing about is this slime ball, Leanna L. He about to take a L with LL. There's a lot of L's. And unfortunate because he has so many W's, but this is like the biggest L. He seems to have unfortunately, some internal issues that allows him to accept behavior from his fiance. She's being shady, disrespectful. And he is defending her. Listen, I'll say it again. When you're unhealthy, you could be as athletic as you want to be. You could be literally the best of your craft, of the highest competency in what you do. You own the domain. But if you don't like you, it's going to be a real big problem. When people start treating you weird, it don't register because the way that that disrespectful way the way that they treat you like an inferior, the way that they treat you like you're low value. Okay, the way that they treat you like you need me, I don't need you. The way that they treat you, when they treat you like that and it don't register to you like, we need a timeout here. We need to hold up. This something ain't right. When it's not registering to you because the way that they're treating you matches how you feel about you. So you find yourself like Travis Hunter on the internet defending a big double L instead of being like, hold up. This treatment doesn't align. Ain't no way that somebody could get away with doing something like this with me. But when you think that's what you deserve, it doesn't even register to you. I can't get into the details of the Travis Hunter thing. Apparently I need to do a whole nother video on that because I got a lot of feelings and thoughts about it. Let's keep going. The second thing you need to break toxic promises with people in your life is you need boundaries. You need standards, a ground floor of how you want to be treated and the life experience you want to have. You need standards and you need boundaries. Boundaries. the distance I need to be from you in order for both of us to be ourselves. Somebody write it in the comments, and then we'll continue on boundaries. And then we got one more after that. Severia, thank you. The distance I need to be from you in order for both of us to be ourselves. So this is where, if you disrupt, where someone disrupts your sense of safety, your sense of peace, your sense of comfort. And when I say safety, you know me, I'm talking about not just physical safety. That should be so damn obvious that you should feel physically safe with somebody, but I'll just say it for the record. You should be physically safe with somebody, but emotionally safe. I need to be mentally safe. My psyche needs to be calm around you, emotionally safe. Okay? So if someone disrupts your sense of safety, peace, and comfort, you have to put boundaries there. Does that make sense, y'all? I'm gonna give you an example. Let's talk about Paula. Paula has anger issues. Some of y'all got anger issues. They've been undiagnosed. Some of y'all got anger issues, okay? You flying off the handle, you lashing out, talking about it's cultural, talking about I'm passionate. You're angry, sir. You're angry, ma'am. Some of y'all got undiagnosed anger. It's not even a mental illness. Some of y'all just got undiagnosed anger. You're an angry person. And you know what I don't like? I'm going to say this for the record. I'm going to say this for the brothers. I don't like Black women hiding behind I'm not the angry Black woman trope. If you an angry Black woman, you angry. That's what it is. I don't like that. I don't like how you can't say you angry because you're Black, because you're a Black woman. If you angry, you angry. Some of y'all got undiagnosed anger. You in denial. I must have needed to say that. I think I needed to say that for the last couple of years. I feel like some just released. Woo, I feel like something just released in me. Sometimes you just got to say it. Sometimes you just got to say something, y'all. I don't like that. If you angry, you angry. Best thing you could do is be honest. Best thing you could do is be honest about it and be like, you know what? I am angry. Yeah. Take your little angry self to some anger management. Take your little angry self to therapy. Or you know what? Don't even got to do all that. Take your little angry self home. Just do that. Take your angry self home. You don't got to do nothing. You got to spend a dime. I ain't spending nothing on you though. If you angry, you angry. You messing up people's energy. You messing up people's environment. You coming in dropping problems on people. You an angry person. I don't care if you Black. You angry. If you angry, you an angry Black woman. You an angry Black man. You angry and white. You angry. If you angry, you angry. Whoo, I tell you, I needed to say that. I needed to say that. You don't want to be called angry, but look like a duck, sound like a duck, walk like a duck, damn it. You ain't going to gaslight me talking about find another word for it. No, I'm going to give you the most simple word. You're angry. You mad. You look really mad. Needed to say it. Back to the example, folks. Example here. Paula has anger. Why did I even say this? Paula has anger issues. Somebody about to get triggered right now. Paula has anger issues and accountability issues. That's too many of y'all. I try not to laugh. That's too many of y'all. It's going to help somebody. Paula has anger issues and accountability issues. When Lawrence asked her why she didn't do what she said she would do, some of y'all triggered right now. Y'all ducking already. You like, I can't even say that. I can't even bring it up. Some of y'all scared in your own house. You can't even say it. You can't even bring it up. You can't even follow up with somebody about what they said they were going to do because they're going to get mad at you for following up about what they said they was going to do. What? What kind of life are we living here? When Lawrence asked her, Lawrence is brave, okay? Because y'all need to get Lawrence energy. Lawrence asked her why she didn't do what she said she'd do. She lashes out at him, cussing him out and saying he's acting like a woman nagging him.
Lawrence now removes himself when he sees signs of her. That's that seed. When he sees signs of her getting too heated, because Paula has crossed his boundaries related to respectful communication and respecting him. He also may just remove himself from the relationship completely. Y'all, that's when you've disrupted someone's peace, comfort, safety so much that they advance from a boundary to a wall. They pass timeouts with you. They're not giving you 10 minutes anymore. They're going to give you the next 100 years of your life. Here, I can't do it. They're like, I tried the boundaries. I tried to communicate. I tried to tell you. But now I have to advance from a boundary to a wall. Paula gets to be herself, an angry person who refuses accountability. You get to do that by yourself. You get to be yourself by yourself. And Lawrence gets to be himself by requesting accountability and removing himself when someone doesn't meet his standard of respect. Okay, removing himself when someone has when someone's being inappropriate and essentially like just harmful. So I want you to understand this about boundaries, okay? And I want you to understand about this. First, understand this about your own toxic behavior. Your own toxic behavior, your own unhelpful, dysfunctional behavior, your own behaviors that make things worse and not better. You can be yourself, but you may be by yourself. Somebody write it in the chat. You can be yourself. Talking about, it's just me. Okay, well, you can be yourself. By yourself. And sometimes that means that you got to take an hour by yourself. Sometimes that means you need to go live by yourself. Sometimes because you just can't get it together. So understand this about your own toxic, dysfunctional behavior. You can be yourself, but then that means if somebody who's ready to set boundaries with you and uphold their standards, they're going to let you to do it by yourself. And I want you to understand this on the other side. When you start really upholding your standards and setting boundaries, you might also have a season of being by yourself. Okay, you might have to, you're gonna have to be okay on the front end. Okay, you have to be okay for a little bit being by yourself. In the sense that not everybody's going to put in the work to try to meet your standard. Word to the wise. Y'all, all this stuff should be happening before you're married. Okay, please don't get married thinking that's gone. Then they're going, well, now he's a husband, so now she's a wife, so what's a ring gonna do? What's a ring gonna do? What's a ring gonna do? That person, before you marry that person, you need to be like, who they are is who I could live with forever. Setting standards and finding ways for both of you to meet each other's standards consistently is for before you're married. In marriage, y'all, you're intertwined. You're intertwined. I don't care what you're intertwined. Marriage. Some of y'all need to do a study on marriage. Maybe we need to do a spiritual study on marriage. I can't even go down that road today. We'd be here for 6 hours. You're intertwined, okay? So ain't no time and space to be like, whoa, I gotta separate myself from you because this doesn't meet my standard. Now, every time you don't hit my standard, I gotta look outside of my marriage to get somebody who meets my standard because the one I'm married to doesn't even fill the ground floor. You do this before you're married. When you're married, you're gonna intertwine. Every deficit that they have now affects you. Every deficit that they have now affects you directly. So this kind of stuff needs to be handled, negotiated before you're married. The standard. Now, all those cherries on top after the fact, it's going to be a continuous growth and progression. Okay, but the standard, your ground floor, we have a solid foundation of that. Okay, before you're married. So, ladies, because it's usually ladies who are trying to get who are more eager to get married. That ring not going to change you. Matter of fact, you scare me Talking about once you get it, you gonna be somebody else? How? Let's stop fighting with people on that. Let's just ask a question. Let's continue that conversation. What do you mean after you get the marriage, you gonna turn into that? How you gonna do that? How the stuff you don't do every day, you gonna start doing daily? How you gonna do that? How you plan on switching up in a significant way? Talking about different habits, different routines, different personality. How you gonna do that? That's some Lord of the Rings, like you Gollum stuff. Like you put a ring on and suddenly something happens. How's that? That's scary to me. I'm confused about that. I need you to explain. I want you to explain how that's supposed to happen. Okay, let's continue. That's a whole different question. How do I feel about people saying don't do wife-husband stuff before you become a wife-husband? I think it's a nuanced conversation, of course, right? There are certain things that are reserved for marriage, okay? But also, I'm going to answer the question generally so I don't evade the whole thing. If someone can't tell that you have the capacity to do what you would do as a wife or husband, they can't tell. They ain't got no evidence. That's a problem. That's a problem. You asking people to have blind faith in you that haven't shown evidence that you would do those things. I don't think people should take your word that you just gonna start being somebody else. So certain things are reserved for marriage, but someone's got to know, like, you have the capacity, the desire, the willingness, and it's really who you are. It's not a light switch that you turn on and off. It's who you are. So you really even shouldn't be worried about that. I ain't never even worried about that. Let's have a bigger conversation. I ain't never worried about, never worried about, oh, I can't do this or that. It's who I am. It's who I am. And I think maybe that's missing from the conversation. Is this missing from the conversation? I ain't never worried about, let me not do this one action because it's who I am. It's who I am. I don't got to pick and choose how I show up. It's who I am. So the only thing you're going to get in marriage is more of it. Like, huh? What you talking about? You ain't going to do this and that. You picking and choosing how you what? Isn't just supposed to be who you are? How you even do that? That's called manipulation. I can't do this today. That's so much work. You got to wake up in the morning being like, I ain't married yet, so what am I not about to do? Huh? I can't even help being myself. It's who I am. Why would I got to turn me off to try to manipulate you into marrying me? What the hell? That don't even, y'all got to start going through all the logic all the way through. Like, really take what somebody's saying and work that logic all the way through and be like, if that's true, if you do that, what else does that mean? Like, just start, people just be saying stuff, not even thinking like, how do you even, what? It sounds crazy, right? When you really start to break it down, it sounds kind of, ladies especially will have you thinking that's discernment. It's self-sabotage. Men are like, I'm not doing that. You're not about to withhold, try to get me to give you something. That don't even make sense. Play the logic all the way through. You gonna withhold from me so that I give you something? That only works on people who don't even like themselves. They like you more than they like them. And some of y'all are counting on a sucker who doesn't know that. I don't know who needs to hear it today. Some of y'all are counting on a sucker who doesn't know that he does not have to deal with that. That you withholding shouldn't trigger him to give you more. It should trigger him to go away. That's a man who loves himself. It triggers him to go away. Golly. So y'all got me passionate. This is a good conversation. Okay? It's a good conversation. So anyway, let's move on. Last thing, y'all, 3 things that you need What are we talking about today? 3 things that you need to break toxic promises in your life that are hurting you more than helping you. Y'all, last thing you need, speaking of what I was just saying, you need self-worth. You really got to believe, speaking of suckers, you really need to believe that you deserve better treatment. You got to believe that you deserve better treatment. Some of you know that better treatment exists, but you don't think it's for you. Like you haven't personalized it. You hear other people talking about it on the internet, and you hear them talking about it as if they're talking about someone other than you. You need to personalize it. It's you. You need to make it yours. Okay? Not just believe better treatment exists, but believe and own that it is for you. I know, people will delude themselves all day talking about, I deserve this, I deserve that. But I'm like, ain't no way you actually believe that. Because look at the decisions that you're making. I know what it looks like when someone loves themselves. I know what it looks like when someone is confident in themselves. And I know what kind of decisions they make. Certain fruit comes out of somebody like that. And certain fruit comes out of somebody who doesn't have that. So based on your outcomes, based on the decisions you're making, and based on what your results are, we can tell. I can tell how you feel about yourself. Talking about, don't delude yourself. Talking about, I deserve this, I deserve that. I know I'm this, I know I'm that. The world is mine. But look at how you move and and you still texting that man back that won't call you on the phone, and you hanging on his every word on the Hinge app. This is not the behaviors of somebody who loves himself. Listen. Don't delude yourself. People who you feel a certain way about yourself, you know certain things about yourself and what you deserve. There are certain things you just don't do. There are certain experiences you just won't be a part of. There are certain people you just won't interact with. Okay? So you really need to believe you deserve better treatment, not just know about it, not just be able to parrot it, but actually own it. Side note, important note, rather. It's not even a side note, important note. This is the very last thing, y'all. And then I'm going to go. This is the very last thing. By the way, have you subscribed to me on YouTube? Yo, I recently got monetized. Go on YouTube. I am Taylor Chandler. We're going to do lives on YouTube this year. The link is in my bio. Get on YouTube. This full episode is going to be up there by the end of the week. When you're inner critic, you've heard of this, like inner critic thing, okay? Like negative self-talk. You're going to have to deal with that. You got self-worth stuff. You're making weird decisions with people. You hanging on to toxic relationships. Check that inner critic, which is usually a shadow of the voice of toxic parents. Coco, please, we're almost done, okay? Relax. Toxic parents, weirdo teachers that said weird stuff to you or try to put you down. Brutal siblings. We don't talk a lot about sibling rivalry stuff. And like people, I'm going to tell you this. I'm very passionate about this. It's a growing passion that I have about this sibling stuff. I don't think that people should just accept weird sibling behavior, like dysfunctional, incredible, like super negative, like sometimes brutal behaviors between siblings. Sometimes so some of y'all got some weird sibling stuff in the back. Things that people said to you, things that people did to you, or even just the world, things that you have come to believe about women or people of color. Like if you're a person of color and people of color, things that narratives that you have absorbed into you that have affected your sense of self-worth. And even, I'm going to put this one out there. This is specifically for men who have absorbed negative storylines about what it means to be a man with emotions, or a man who cares about women, or a man who is sensitive. These negative dysfunctional storylines that you've come to absorb, and now you hate parts of yourself because the world, or at least the world that you know, rejects that part of you, and now you do. You've absorbed it. That's an example, y'all, of this inner critic that is absorbed by other people, and your self-esteem gets affected because of what someone else put on you. So this is a little bit of work that you're gonna have to do to undo and redo the storyline that you've adopted from others, okay? To undo and redo the storyline that you have adopted from others, what kind of voices you have internalized, and now it sounds like your voice. And now you don't even need somebody to put you down. You do it on your own. And there's always going to be things to work on. I'm not saying that nothing that anyone has ever said to you is just totally false. There's always going to be things to work on, but rather from working from a place of inferiority and insecurity, you can do it from a place of confidence and of strength. That's the episode, y'all. I hope it was helpful. What we talked about was promises you should break, not new resolutions, but promises you need to reevaluate, reconsider. Some relationships you need to revisit and reorient to so that you are setting yourself up to be in relationship to people, places, and things that are working for you and not against you. See you next time. Bye, y'all.